Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to another Saturday, the end of another week, and welcome to RTB, Restoring the Brokenness family.
Hi, my name is Colette Allen.
And my name is Alfred Allen Sr.
All right, so I am really, as my signature statement is, I'm really excited about another weekend with you guys. So
Absolutely.
Before we even start, I would like to remind you all to please share and like our page. And
Go ahead,
also, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. So
do it right now.
All right. So before we start, let's give our disclaimer.
All right. Well, we, the hosts and guests of Restoring the Brokenness group, do not claim to be counselors, therapists, psychologists, or psychiatrists. The information provided is based on our own experience and only intended to inspire, encourage, and uplift you. We advise you to seek professional help when dealing with circumstances beyond your control.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Well,
and I'm over here making sure that I let people know that we are on. Absolutely. And I know last week, I was looking at the show last week. I was like, it was a pretty emotional show.
The slap heard around the world.
And, it really, we got a lot more viewers last week.
Oh,
I think people were really tuned in and just kind of interested in seeing what our thoughts were or hearing what our thoughts were.
Right.
And we are so appreciative of our guests from last week, Pamela, Renee, and your guy, James Buford. They were on the show last week. And what are your thoughts about last week before we even start?
Well, last week we had a very interesting topic that actually, goes right on into this week. But it's a conversation that's needed, and, not just my guy Will, might be going through circumstances, but every husband and wife probably have been there before. And, even after the week that Saturday has gone and we went through another week, I was still thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And there is a need. There's definitely a need to protect those that we care about, especially our wives. Men, the Bible says that us husbands are natural coverers of our wives, and we're supposed to be there. They're bone of our bone, flesh of our flesh.
Okay.
And that we're supposed to protect them in some kind of way. Not just stand for them to be insulted, and regardless of what the situation was, she didn't like it. I think Will could have just took that moment and just went up on the stage and explained what she was going through, and I think that would have
probably would have helped his career and everything else.
and really impacted everybody that's watching, and even people that really can connect with him and wants to connect with him.
So. I mean, it was really a bad decision on his end. I mean, although I understood his response, but not the slap. So. Right. I mean, it could have been a moment for him to bring awareness to what women and men suffer from alopecia. That could have been a very defining moment, but not, it could have been, would have been, it didn't happen. And I hope after everything that we can move forward and he can redeem himself and we can just go on with our life. But we do have to do a recap, not a recap, but an update on what is happening. And y'all, I guess, we'll see. So let's go. Let's start. So so hot topics, we're continuing because we did not finish what we were talking about. We wanted to cover last week because the Will Smith topic took over everything. But we will talk about the updates. But before we even start, we got to give some shout outs to my girl, the first African American woman, Supreme Court Justice. How you say her name? Ketanji or Ketanji? Ketanji. I think we're saying the name wrong, but we're gonna get it right. Brown Jackson. She has made history The first African American justice of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court now, guess what? It looks a little bit more more about our diversity within the world. Absolutely. It doesn't all look white, doesn't all have men. I mean, we have some color now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so far we have 4 female justices, 2 African Americans. We also have the first.
The first one.
She was, and I didn't know this, Ketanji. Mm-hmm. She was a public defender.
Oh, absolutely.
She is the first public defender
to serve on
the Supreme Court. So not only is she the first woman, African American woman on the Supreme Court, she is the first public offender. Well, my niece called them public pretenders. I guess it depends on who you have. But I was like, this is an awesome moment for African American women. Oh my God, this is our default. This is what we've talked about. This is what our ancestors foreseen years before we even came into existence. This is what they've gone through, all the things that they've gone through, the battles that they've fought, the abuse, everything for this moment right here. This is an awesome moment for African American women. I mean, I am so honored to be able to experience this type of greatness.
You know, all you African American women, you queens, sisters, what have you. I feel a deep sense of pride and joy. I can only imagine how you guys feel, because that ceiling, that 200-year ceiling has been broken. Wow. That shows that, hey, you know, we're going to get our recognition, whether they like it or not. We are going to forge ahead. You know, Dr. Martin Luther King said it doesn't matter how you get there, just as long as we get there.
Yes.
You know,
woo! I feel liberated.
I am so excited because this means so much for us as a race, and America just got a whole lot better. You know, because for so long it has been the Supreme Court without the reality of what a Black woman could bring to the table. And y'all know good and well, a Black woman can do things. A Black woman has substance. A Black woman is strong.
Talk about it.
One of the strongest.
Talk about it.
One of the strongest. Because they have been weathered. They have gone through. They have been through so much where they are they're streamlined. They're always adjusting, never giving up, but forging ahead. And this right here is, you just put somebody in office that has so much power, so much substance, you know, can really show everybody and make a difference. Can really make a difference.
You know
I'm
what?
Excited.
You know, listen.
As you can see, I'm excited.
Her journey was not easy. I mean, though I don't want to say Republicans or Democrats, but they gave her a hard time. Oh, they really. I mean, Al was, of course, following it. I wasn't. You know, I did not follow it all the. You know, it was not an easy experience for her, but she stood strong. She was solid in her belief. She held her ground. Yeah. She knew going in there that she had a lot that was against her because she was a Black woman. And that is what we've talked about on the prior show throughout, you know, different topics. We've always reminded people. And when we remind you, I hope that when you see it, that you can identify it, because even after she was voted in, and I mean, they, what do you call that?
Nominated. They did the votes and she was nominated.
After she actually made it over the threshold, their behavior, some of the Republicans' behavior was just unbecoming. And Al, would you like to share some of those things? Because it's like a formality that they follow afterwards.
Absolutely. They realize that this marks a new era and a lot of the Republicans attacked her harshly and often, staying on the subject of child pornography, kept asking her why was her judgment in so many cases more lenient than what they would give her. And everybody, mind you, everybody that was convicted went to prison and served a lengthy time for what they done, but they couldn't find anything else, so they poked and prodded her on the child pornography situation and just would not stop. And then once they knew that she would be nominated, then there was a dress code for you to be on the floor to be able to vote. Republicans now, mind you, no Democrats, but a lot of Republicans decided that they'll break that dress codes just so they wouldn't have to be there to show respect and give her the respect she deserves, like Kavanaugh and all the other ones that were nominated by the last administration under Trump. So they decided to simply take off a necktie. And knew that meant that you couldn't be on the floor.
You couldn't be in attendance.
And that reminds me of what Malcolm X said, that the Black woman is one of the most disrespected.
Yes.
I mean, for some reason, they know, because they know you're strong and they know that you have what it takes to do the job. So they're going to try to find something to say, to present as I gotcha.
Right.
So it was just really very disrespectful.
Very.
And how so many Republicans just came after her and just stayed on her about one situation that was actually water under the bridge.
Right. They couldn't find anything on her, so they made stuff up. But the mere fact that they would disrespect that moment for her, they didn't even want to experience the history making. They didn't want to be a part of the history of an African-American woman actually being voted into. I don't think she was voted into yet. She was just being confirmed, right?
No, she's actually voted in.
Okay. Now so they could not, they refused to be a part of that whole history making. So they knew if they didn't come appropriate, they couldn't attend the ceremony. So even in that, even after she went through the storm and she deserved what she earned, no one gave her anything, they still disregarded her. And it kind of reminds me of some experiences as being a professional. And when you do things, when you decide to move to the next level or decide to pursue other career options or other opportunities, how people will show you how much they respect you by their response as you're exiting.
Been there, done that.
Okay. Oh my God, I lived that. So coming in, you're wonderful. But when you choose to advance, their behavior based on your advancement and you're professionally exiting one career and moving to the next experience, people will show you who they are. And it's really disappointing because African-American people, we're very open to receiving, and we give people second and third and 5 million chances to redeem themselves. And they just always come back to who they really are, which kind of remind me of that story about the snake, how this guy, of course it's a story, how this guy seen a snake and the snake was really fragile and it was all old and all shriveled up and almost dying. He nourished the snake back to health. And the snake bit him. He's like, I didn't nourish you back to health and fed you. I mean, you was about to die. And the snake said, you knew when you picked me up, I was a snake. So in so many words, whether you're kind to people that are just have issues with who you are, they're going to always have issues because that's who they are. And sometimes we look through a different lens because we feel like everybody should have a chance. But when you recognize the core of who people are, you don't be disappointed. So that kind of remind me of my experiences, no matter how great I was in that establishment, when you decide to go and pursue other opportunities, people will show their true colors And I say a snake is a snake is a snake is a snake. They'll never change. So that kind of, I wasn't surprised that they treated her like that. She's a black woman. She deserved it. And they just turned their back on her like she wasn't anything. That's disrespectful to the highest level. And you see it in all facets of life and just experiences. Black women have to always do extra, be perfect. It's just not fair, but I don't think it's ever going to change.
You're certainly right. And, Democratic Senator Cory Booker, he really gave her props.
Right.
He said that you carry with you our ancestors.
Right.
The people that have fought and died for this very moment and knew that they weren't going to be there. And some of them quite frankly couldn't believe that we will probably get to where we go, but it didn't get to this point, but it didn't stop them from fighting for what they know that we need to fight for. And he told her that he is going to give God the praise when those votes finally come in and she's finally nominated. And my goodness, it was 53-48.
Yeah, because 3 other Republicans crossed over and they voted for her, which I'm so great. Wasn't that Romney? He was one of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm almost starting to like him again. I don't know, but that was good. Kind of a little bit. He kind of got a little extra star there. I was surprised. I was like, okay,
he kind of reminds me of John Kane. He didn't stand for a lot of foolishness.
Okay, but he kind of slipped up a little bit. He kind of slipped up when Orange guy was in there.
Who?
Romney kind of.
Okay.
But anyhow, he did good. Good job. Extra star for you. Absolutely. Good job. So who can you say her name? Ketanji. Right. It's spelled kind of different. So it's like, if I look at it like it's spelled,
I've heard it pronounced Ketanji.
I've heard people say Ketanji, but some people pronounce it different. But listen, who is she? Let's just get a little background on who is Ketanji Brown Jackson. Okay, so she's American attorney and jurist. She served on the federal judge in the United States Courts of Appeals for the District of Columbia since 2021. She was also she's married, of course. She was born in September 14, 1970. She was like 51. She's 51 years old. She's pretty young. Go on, girl. You're doing that. Okay. But what really stood out, of course, she received her education in Miami and Harvard University, and she went to Harvard Law School. She was a public defender, right?
Out of sight.
I honestly that she was a public defender. And sometimes when they say they're giving you a public defenders, they don't really. Some of them don't really put their all in when they're supposed to be like representing you.
All right.
But the fact that she was so good that she actually moved up to Supreme Court. So for all the public defenders that people probably try to look down on, you have an opportunity to, you have to start somewhere.
Wow.
What is that word said? Don't despise small beginnings. Just because you start off on the bottom, as people will consider, you still have an opportunity to grow and to be a part. You never know. You never know where it goes. So give your all, even on that level. Give your all. Always represent. Make sure your representation of yourself is professional.
Yes. And
maintain who you are. Don't lose sight of that. So I really commend her. I was like, what? I was like, girl, you did that. Well, kudos to you.
You know what? And also when like what you said, to give it your all, when she was in college at the University of Harvard, there was times when she felt like she probably wouldn't make it. And then a random person, as she was walking down the hall, just noticed her and knew that there was some despair on her. She was going through despair, just kind of moved up to her, whispered in her ear, and said, persevere.
Love that.
And said it one more time. Persevere. And that gave her this. And as the person came, the person just disappeared right on down the hallway. But that, in that moment, was something that really helped her and gave her that stick-to-itness to go through. So she says in her offering to after she was nominated to no matter what, if you're a little girl, if you're a teenager, whatever you're doing, and you're shooting for something, a dream, persevere.
Right.
Don't give up. Stick to it. And I want to put a shout out to to public high schools. Public high schools.
Okay.
She attended
public high schools. And this is what they're talking about. Her being a judge, her background experiences, just being in the trenches is going to change a lot of the decisions as far as, now you got people that can relate to other people in high offices that understand. They understand the struggle. They understand the challenges. They understand. So they're not going to make decisions based on what they think should be right, based on no experience of why. How I can't really say what's right or wrong if I've never walked in that. Okay. If I've never experienced that. Okay. But if I've experienced some things, I kind of have a better understanding. My thought pattern progress, my thinking about this is going to be a little bit different than someone that's coming from a background of not even understanding the culture, not even haven't gone through anything, haven't lived from paycheck to paycheck, always had everything in front of them. They're not going to be as empathetic as someone that know paycheck to paycheck, the government cheese program, all that. They know what it takes to just live in a society and the challenges that people go through. So I am 101% of support of her being in that office.
Yes,
for life. That is awesome.
And I'm gonna tell you,
51 years old. She's gonna be around a little bit. She's gonna be around for a minute.
I will tell you, young ladies out there, anybody that's chasing the dream, high schools. She attended high school.
Public high school.
And not just for the ladies, guys. Anybody. You think that, oh, you know what? America ain't about nothing. It's you can't get ahead because of the establishment. You know what? You can get ahead.
Right.
All you have to do is find a target, set your arrow, and shoot for that.
Right.
Shoot for that. Once you get there, keep on going. I'm telling you. I'm going back to college myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm going back to college myself. If I get myself a 3-year degree, I'm going back.
That's okay. Now you said it on this public platform that you're going back to college. So y'all keep looking out. We'll
I'm actually going to college.
We'll chronicle.
Right. And
we're gonna chronicle. We're gonna show people how that and I ain't doing your work, just so you know.
Okay.
You're gonna be on your own. I'm tired of school.
I want to say this one last thing. While she was at Harvard University, she had 3 sisters. She had a sisterhood. And Antoinette Coakley, she's professor at the Northeast Law School now.
Okay.
She actually prophesied. She said that she told Ketanji Brown at the time that you are going to be the first Black woman set on the highest court in the land.
Love it.
And that prediction, which was a prophecy, came true. It's going to be 4 months from now.
But she's been confirmed already. So she's in there. She's in there. I mean, this is an awesome day. This is really
absolutely.
I'm not saying that he's making all the right choices. I'm not even saying that the vice president is doing a lot. I'm just saying it's just nice to see that color starting to matter. Like you see minorities in high positions, African Americans, different people. I just like this. I like that. So you know what, guys? If you have as you guys have been commenting, thank you for that. If you would want to come on You can. We have
Absolutely.
that link already. You guys see that? You can just
check us out.
Come on and enjoy enjoy
put the needle on the record, let the record play.
Conversation. Okay, so we moving on. We only have an hour. Listen, guys, I am just as tired as you all are about this whole Will Smith thing. I really am. I mean, a week ago I was so emotional. I don't even know what was going on. But we gotta go back because some updates in the curve.
Right.
And Lord knows, I'm so tired of people playing sides. I know the man messed up. He shouldn't have did it. He did it one time. People act like the world has stopped ending. They're canceling his shows. They're not canceling it, but they're putting it on hold.
Mm.
And I hope that they don't put it on hold for long, because I'm telling you, when you take it off hold, I'm watching it. That hasn't changed how I feel about Will and his work. You can't take his talent.
You can't keep.
He messed up. We all messed up. He shouldn't be. It shouldn't be double jeopardy. He resigned from the Academy. Let's talk about the aftermath after the Oscar slap. Okay, he resigned from the Academy. The Academy just made their final. Can we go? Okay, he resigned from the Academy. It said he said Will Smith. He resigned from the Academy. He said that he betrayed the trust with conduct that was shocking, painful, and inexcusable. First, let me say this. I got to give a whole lot of respect for a man to actually stand up and say, I messed up. My behavior was unbecoming, and it's no excuse. I can't sit up here and say, oh, I was going. No, I messed up. Right. He owned his stuff. It's like they don't even care whether okay, fine, whatever. But the man did the right thing. Okay, so the Academy yesterday, they were supposed to meet on the 18th, but they decided we're just gonna do it now, whatever. We'll already resign. So let's just go ahead and take care of it so we won't have to keep dealing with this. So they banned him for 10 years from the Academy. I am sure that Will is under the bed crying tears because he is banned for 10 years from the Oscars. I seriously doubt that I think Will feel worse that he did what he did than actually being banned. I don't think that really, I don't know. What do you think? I don't think that mattered to him.
Well, I think there could have been some worse things, penalties
happen.
Applied to him, but I don't, it kind of seemed, in a way, like a hand slap on the wrist, because if he does something great, which he always doing something great, he can still win an award. He's still up for winning an award. So I don't think the
okay. You said a hand slap on the wrist.
Yeah, because there could have been worse. They could have took the Grammy. They could have.
If they took the Grammy, they would have to go back and take everybody else's Grammy that's in jail right now for sexual assault. Several of the performers.
You're right.
Whole lot of crime going on. Child pornography. They have to really do a lot. So of course they weren't going to do that.
Well,
so how is that a slap on the wrist though?
Because they usually do things like blacklist a person. You can't find work anywhere. They don't say that. They don't announce that, but there have been so many, like
name somebody.
There's the black sister that made the
that didn't have nothing to do with the Oscars though.
No, but what I'm saying is some people are blacklisted for one reason or another.
I don't think he would have been blacklisted for a slap. Come on, no, I mean, I think that
I wouldn't put too much past anybody. The Academy knows producers. Producers could be feeling some kind of way in their chest too, because you mess up an award ceremony first time.
That wasn't good.
What's her name?
That wasn't good.
The sister Anita, or what's her name?
Who?
She made the movie with the one young lady where she was pregnant and she was treating her bad. She was an awful mom.
I don't know, Al. That can be any movie.
Okay.
I don't even know what are you saying then? You're saying somebody said something?
No, I'm speaking of how sometimes people come up on a blacklist. Tom Cruise was blacklisted.
Why was he blacklisted?
It's
for whatever reason,
right? Okay. You know, if you don't want to work with a person, okay, if you turn down something, or
you're hard to work with, or you're bougie, or you. Okay, Will wasn't blacklisted, but they are doing a lot of things I think is ridiculous. I personally, don't think that 10 years was a slap on the wrist. I really don't. I do not. And what else is going on? He can't attend none of their little activities. He can't vote. He can't. Oh yeah, okay. Sounds like a black man to me. Sounds like, I don't see nothing else. I mean, this is what they do. Okay. Now this is when it really hits home here, because then they messing up. Honey, they done went to Netflix, and Netflix is talking about, okay, they were supposed to release his movie Fast and Loose starring Will. They just put it on a pause. I don't know how long the pause is, but that's okay. We're gonna work with you, Netflix, because I've been a participant and a customer of Netflix for many years. I have no problem canceling my subscription. I'm just saying.
See, but that's what I'm talking about, how the network can have control.
Yes, they are controlling. That's why he needs to have his own network.
And that's what Tom Cruise did.
That's what you got to do.
Realized that he was on a blacklist, and he started his own Paramount Pictures like sort of thing.
Right.
And then he made the next Mission Impossible.
Oh.
On that new company that he started, and it was a big success.
I tell you, Mission Impossible, that's a real.
But that's how they can come after you.
Will has I don't think it would be a problem from the starters on, like this whole Bel Air. That is awesome. Like, I mean, that Bel Air, it's on Peacock. Now, Peacock, don't you go tripping now, because I'm telling y'all right now.
Leave him alone. Don't roll up on him.
I promise you, if you go ham on Will over this, it's gonna be some problems. You're gonna have to deal with me. You better not mess with Bel Air on Peacock. I am not playing. I'm getting emotional. I really love that. Don't do it. Don't you do it now. All right. Now, Bad Boys, the franchise. Now that, oh my God, that Bad Boys.
Absolutely.
Okay, Bad Boys, right now they didn't pause on that, because I think they were supposed to start showing it on Netflix. Netflix is on something different. I don't appreciate that. Who the CEO? Who's CEO?
I don't know, but it's kind of like
they really doing wrong.
It's kind of like a monopoly.
Yeah,
or it should be more of a monopoly, where one person, one network don't want to work with you and think they got the power, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You should be able to slide on over to another network.
But no, they working together. So
how do y'all think? How y'all feel about that? Y'all feel that Netflix should be putting Will's work on pause? How do you feel about that?
Well, Tamara said that the networks. She said the networks are taking things too far. I really believe. I agree, Tamara.
You got it, T.
Now, what did Debbie talk about Martha Stewart? I mean, that woman was stealing and she went to jail. Come on. You can't compare Martha Stewart to Will. He ain't stole nothing. He just slapped the crap out of it. I think Chris should be able to taste today. I think his taste buds should be regenerated. He's able to eat chitterlings today.
That's not funny. You know what?
I'm sorry.
I commend Chris Rock, because he took it like a gentleman, and opposed to how his brother's talking.
Oh, his brother is disrespectful. Even though you have a right to be upset, but to call another man's wife a B, you out of order. Sorry.
I've never used that word.
That is so disrespectful.
Because I got a mother, I got a wife, I got a daughter. You just what? That means you calling your daughter or your mom or someone, that somebody should be rolling up on him saying, hey, wait a minute. If you call her that means I'm this too. Somebody should be.
But when he said that on stage, the crowd kind of went, was like, it sucked the air out. Yeah. It sucked the air out of the room, because they were like, "Ooh, we understand you upset."
Man, brother, that's bad form,
it was just
man.
ugly. It's the ugliness.
And Chris, go get your brother.
He probably can't control his brother. Oh, he probably was like, man, have at it. He, you know, of course, people show themselves differently in the public, but behind doors, he probably was cussing and saying, do whatever, you know, who knows? I mean,
right, Chris?
Chris was probably like, I don't care what you do. Behind closed, I'm telling you.
I think if a man is going to be a man. If you're going to be, let me just say this, a man's going to be a man wherever it is. If he's going to be a gentleman on the stage, which he was, he going to be a gentleman, say, tell his brother, because that's the way I do. I wouldn't let somebody slap me and not roll around the stage with them and then go home and tell my brother, hey, man, just chill with that, man. He you know.
His brother ain't listening. If that's the case, his brother is all he on this campaign.
What do y'all think about that?
Ain't nothing to think about. The man is out of control and disrespectful. Okay, so we're done with that. I hope that we don't have to even talk about this slap anymore. I'm so over it. I'm ready to move on. Will's dealing with his situation. I pray. We still pray for Will, Jada, and Chris. Yes. Man, I just be strong. You know, this is just a moment in your life. You'll get through it.
Absolutely.
We're gonna move on.
Absolutely will.
We're gonna move on. And stay away from the red table. Don't do the red table. Just let it go. Don't go to the red table and say nothing about, because it just ignite more of the craziness. Every time they go to the red table, people take whatever they said on the red table and they scrutinize it, and then it's just don't do the red table.
You know what? You can't let people.
I'm talking about Will. I don't want him at the red table.
You can't let people direction you. You got to take your own steps in your own future, in your own direction. You can't say, "Oh, I ain't gonna go to the red table," when you know you got something to say that's gonna help, not just you. This might be a time for him to be able to make it right.
Don't go on the red table. Julia said, no, they should not put his show on hold. He messed up, but did not commit an unforgivable crime. Social media in general is taking things too far. Yes.
Wow. That's my daughter. Hi, Julie.
Yes. And you know what? Let me tell you, and like Debbie said, life happens. It does. Because we put up for 4 years with a president that was so disrespectful. Okay, now I'm gonna leave that alone, because y'all already know what.
No, don't leave it alone.
The thing I'm saying is there was no cancel culture for Trump.
You know,
he said and done some things that was so inappropriate, so disrespectful, and he was loved by many.
Absolutely. And also, before he came, you catch a senator cussing or something, he'll say, the next week, before the week is over, I submit my resignation. But ever since the last administration had came and gone, man, they cussing on the floor. They don't care who or
they
who
say
knows
whatever
it.
they say they want to say. It's horrible. And Will, you physically did something. You shouldn't have done it. I hate you did it. I really do. But can we just move forward? I need Will, if you're watching, don't go to the red table right now. We'll have a conversation. I'll let you know when it's time. But no time this year. The next 5 years, don't go to the red table.
Well, Twyla Thompson-Hill, she says no red table.
Thank you, Twyla. You got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. We both in agreement. Okay, we're going to move forward. Because I really want to talk about, because this really, when I seen this, when I heard about this, when I read about this, I was so devastated that I could not rest. It destroyed me. This young man went on spring break. And you know, this is so sad because his name is Tyree Sampson.
He's from the St. Louis area.
Okay, but the thing is, this happened right before Will Smith did the slap. So all that, you know, it was like the news, and then this happened with Will, and everybody forgot about him. And I just want to bring awareness. And it's so sad because he's only 14 years old. Sampson, he was visiting Orlando on his spring break. He was from St. Louis. And he attended Montessori school. What's the name of the school? City Garden Montessori School. So he's a football player. He was a football player. Went to the fair in Orlando. Free fall is a vertical ride that takes people about 430 feet up in the air, and then they free fall several hundred feet to the ground. This ride is as tall as the Statue of Liberty. This young man, and we're going to see the picture of how he was seated, because they keep saying that he was buckled in. I watched the videos of some people that had it on video, not of the fall, because they even videotaped the fall. It was horrible. I couldn't watch it. It devastated me so bad. But they're trying to say that this young man was locked in. When he went up, when he got up the 430 feet, his friend said that he was frantic and he was all upset because he was like, something is wrong. And if I don't make it down, just tell my parents I love them. I watched the video of how the people that were running the ride was just down at one end talking to these 3 people, talking about how fast the ride goes. I never seen them actually walk down to check the people to make sure they were locked in.
Well, that was before the actual video started. That everything's checked because the video ride itself has a system where that the ride won't even take place unless everything's in place.
Okay, so this now. Okay, I'm a be nice. See, I'm adjusting myself. First of all, this is some information that Alfred is just saying. Let me tell y'all something. I don't even know where Mr. Allen got that information from.
Okay.
Nobody can verify. I did all the research I did that can verify and says these guys actually checked this boy ride. When you see the picture, you see it's not even secure. How can a 340-pound young man fall off the ride and it still be intact when it ends? There's no way he can slide through that.
Right.
But that's what they're trying to say. That's not true. And the ride did operate itself. He was not buckled in. So Al, tell me, how did he fly out the ride if it was buckled in?
Right. Well, first of all, our thoughts and prayers is with the family.
Most definitely. I'm devastated for them.
Prayers been going up for the family because it's a devastation. I couldn't imagine. And I was just, I was just shocked. I was totally shocked. But this ride is like the same ride in Europe. It's an identical ride. And in Europe, you can, the maximum weight on this ride
is 285, I think.
Is right. Well, I had, around 285. Yeah. But the United States did not have a weight, is what I heard on the news. No weight limit. But now I'm hearing that their weight limit was 205, but in Europe it was 287. Here's
285. It's 285.
Right, but in Europe,
But why are they saying that they didn't have a limit? That is not true, because my research, let's go to that. It says, according to the state accident report, it says that Tyree's seat was locked when the ride landed. I know that's a lie. Where's the video showing that it was locked? Nobody's seen that. They going by the workers and they're covering their behinds.
Right.
That boy did not slide out. That young man did not slide out of that.
Well, I like to say this.
But I wanted to add what the manual said, though.
Okay, but that's fine. What did the manual say?
It says the report filed by the operator with the Fair Rides Division of Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services says the harness was still in down and locked position when the ride stopped, according to the reports of the employees.
Right.
Tyree came out of the seat when the magnets engaged to slow the ride during the descent.
Right. Well, you know what? If you look at the picture here, everybody else's
let's go to the picture.
Everybody else's harness is down,
right,
in the crotch area.
Go to the picture of him sitting.
But Tyree was his.
Look at his.
His is up, sitting up like almost like a life preserver.
Right. So tell me how is it locked in though?
Because it locks at a certain position, it won't move. It won't move. And as that ride came down at speeds as around 75 miles an hour, then it comes to a stop before it eases its way back down to the ground. And that's when the young man came out to seat.
How did he come out to seat?
He's right, just like how he's sliding his waist. I'm not going to
I want to know how that happened. I really want to know.
What I'm figuring is that he slid right on out, just like how you see him.
But how did he slide out?
Just like how you see him. And
Al, how did he slide out past the seat, the bar?
From the hip on out.
How?
The hip on out. Everybody else got a little bit more torso sitting in there covering them. Everybody else have a little bit. What do you guys think about?
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at this, and I'm pretty sure it'll come more to light because his friend was probably looking over at him and seen everything.
Right, because he said,
and will probably say he slid out from the bottom and went on out.
Okay, I'm trying to visualize this, but one thing, it didn't say when he was coming down. It said when they went up the 430 feet, he knew something's wrong.
Right.
So I just don't understand how he slid out of it. I don't get it. Nevertheless,
but they're investigating.
Yeah, because
the family wants the entire ride just torn down.
I don't blame them.
I'm pretty sure OSHA is probably investigating the situation too. Besides the other independent people that's investigating it, but the ride supposedly won't be open until they're able to deem it safe.
Right.
It's safe again. But it's just a terrible thing.
It's
for
a horrible thing.
Something that happened to a young man. He tried to get on the swing. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't let him on the swing
because of weight.
Then he tried to get on the sling. They said he's too big for that.
That is the only ride. All the rides in the park that he wanted to get on, he could not because of his weight. That's the only ride that they allow him to get on. And according to the operation and maintenance manual, the manual indicates the maximum passenger weight is approximately 287 pounds. The manual also states, be careful when seeing if large guests fit in the seat. Check that they fit within the contours of the seat and the bracket fits properly. If this is not so, do not let the person ride. If he is not sitting in that seat secure and if his body is overlapping those boundaries, he should not have been able to ride.
And this is what makes everything problematic for the Icon Park. The fact that you have an existing manual
right
to tell you exactly what this guy was like 50 over 50
right.
pounds, 50 pounds overweight.
Right. So 287 pounds and you're 340 because his dad said it himself how much he weighed. Nobody else with no other ride. He couldn't get on any of the rides. You have to look. Does this young man fit in this seat? Is he falling? Is his body over the seat? If it is, he cannot ride it. They failed him. I don't believe that they checked. I don't believe that they checked. If they would have checked this young man, they would have been saying, sir, young man, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You cannot ride.
And
he would still have his life.
And why didn't anyone think to just have not three different things? You have the light warning, you have the harness, and there should have been like a seatbelt to go across the lap.
It should have been something. He's 14 years old. He lost his life because of the carelessness of others that was in charge. And I know people say, you're so overprotective of your kids. That is the reason why I'm not really big on my kids going to the fair without me. I'm sorry. I'm that mom. I don't trust it. I just don't.
And Ms. Deborah Lee says even one tragedy is
too many. Right. And he's 14 years old. He had so much to live for. He was a football player. He had a promising future, and he's gone in a horrible way. A horrible way.
It reminds me of my son. It hit home.
Our
son is 6'5".
I struggled.
And he's a big guy.
I struggled like that night when that happened. I could not rest. It really vexed me so bad. It was hard on me. His father, Yarnell Sampson, said that he raised the question of his son's size. He was telling the CNN Friday, my son was 6'5", 340 pounds, so he's a big guy. He was too big for the ride. His dad even said that. Why did they even let him on? Oh gosh. So we got to definitely keep that family in your prayers. His father,
it bothered me all week.
It really did. It really did. His father said that he was a kind son to everyone. He was kind to everyone. He was an honor roll student. He was an aspiring athlete. He cared about other people.
The NFL was looking at him.
Right. That's what the parents are saying. Training. So we send our condolences to the family, and it's just tragic. It's so sad, and it's just a lot going on in the world, and everybody wasting a lot of time on something that this too will pass. But this young man that went to the fair and never came back, and it was on spring break. So a lot of people are affected by that. His peers, his seat is empty, his foot, his parents, it's just sad.
I was reading my Bible just the other day, and I had read, I was in Psalms. I read this one passage, and then I said, man, I feel like reading another passage. And David was talking to the Lord because the enemies was after him. He said, Lord, show me the simpleness, the fragileness of my life, just so that I can be more appreciative. And when I thought about that, I thought about this kid, and I thought about how so many people is contented with their lives and not really looking to branch out and try to find that plan of what God wants for you. But I would tell you one thing: hook up with God. Ask Him to show you your plan in life, show you what He wants you to do, and I guarantee you, you won't go wrong. If you in limbo and you feel like life is boring, there's nothing for me. I don't believe things are happening like it's supposed to do. Hook up. Okay. Get the hook up.
All right.
And God will show you the plan, and it's not something that's so hard. He'll show you the plan. He'll show you your plan.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Allen. So, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the show on today. We try to cover everything that we can possibly cover. Like I said, if you all are interested in being a part of the show, we would love to have you guys here. You can always email us at restoringthebrokenness@gmail.com and say, you know what, I want to come on the platform and have a conversation. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, you can also email us. If you would like to see a certain guest come back to the show to see where are they now, we would love,
or even just your comment. We love, we'll read your comments on the air. I mean, we love the comments that comes through.
Yeah, we do read them. We may not be able to cover all of them, but we do see them. And we try to respond to it. So, guys, listen, remember, if this is your first time watching the show, maybe the second, or maybe you follow us every week. Yeah. Remember to check out One Stage at a Time therapy service. I talk about this because this is my business as an educator, as a leader.
Beautiful.
I love helping people. I love helping children.
I commend you, dear.
And this is during the time of before school. If you see that your toddler may not be reaching those milestones, you can check out the webpage, and we get free consultations, and we can talk about a plan, put some plan in place, or just have people that's a part of the business. That we have occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, and then I do the behavior analysis. So we are here to service your child.
The whole nine
okay
yards.
So check out that page at www.onestage2021.com and schedule a free consultation. All right.
Absolutely.
Great. So, Mr. Allen, it has been a pleasure once again to share this platform with you.
I always like sitting next to you and doing the show.
All right.
It's a wonderful time. That was another beautiful time we spent.
Yes, the whole 60 minutes. Lord Jesus, help us. Okay, so special thanks to all of our viewers. followers and supporters of Restoring the Brokenness group. Special thanks to our technician, Alfred Jr. Please remember to like and share our page. Also, you can email us at restoringthebrokenness@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at RT Brokenness and YouTube. Okay, Restoring the Brokenness. And now we're on Instagram, Restoring the Brokenness. So guys, listen, check us out on all our platforms and tell somebody else that, hey, this is a great show. It's just 60 minutes and we have some great conversations, and encourage other people to join, okay? All right, until next time, be whole, be healed, and be at peace. Bye-bye.